It's the Wednesday wrap-up show.
What is going on?
What up, y'all?
What's up?
What's up, Black Comic Lords? It's us, your Wednesday wrap-up crew in the building. We're a little light. I don't know where Richard is, and Herschel. So, it's us, but we're in the building. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? This is our freestyle show, you guys. I mean, for those of you who are brand new to the channel, the Wednesday wrap-up show literally has no format. We're like, oftentimes, you have to understand, oftentimes we do these shows, we do lives, we do interviews, we do what have you. And after the live is done, we stay on and we just keep talking and we just talk about whatever. And we're like, you know what? Why don't we just record this instead of just ending the show? Just record us just talking. And that's what we're doing. That's our Wednesday wrap-up show. So we talk about whatever goes through our Black Comic Lord addled minds. That's where you guys jump in.
Hey, I just want to shout out the chat. Marwan, thank you for joining us. Pericles.
Hello.
So great to have you all.
Listen, before we get started, please, if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to our channel, why not? It costs you nothing. Please go ahead and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
And share the video over one of your social media platforms. Doesn't matter which one. Just share the video. Doesn't cost you. Helps us to ride the algorithm wave to keep doing what we're doing for all of you. So, I'm trying to see if I picked up any new comics that are worth noting. I got a late shipment. Latest comics I got picked up Batman 152. A backup story involving Nubia and Black Canary. And a meeting between, I think it might be the first meeting between Batman and Deadeye, Amanda Waller's nephew. So I thought that was kind of, they actually fight. Picked up this random issue of Star Wars, the original Marvel Star Wars run. It's got Lando Calrissian.
I see got Lando on there.
You hurt my friend, I'll destroy you all type thing. This reminds me of the cover for Green Lantern 87, doesn't it?
Let me get you on the spotlight, Paul. There we go.
Doesn't that kind of remind you of the Green Lantern 87 cover?
How so?
Where,
okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see Lando being held there.
What have you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what caught me. It also fills the hole that I have in that run. I used to collect Star Wars comics. Star Wars is actually one of the first comics I got a subscription to from Marvel. This is right. I'm just letting you know where all these gray hairs come from. I'm very old. So back in the day, literally when I was a kid, I sent my $12 off to Marvel Comics for a subscription, a year-long annual subscription to Star Wars comics. It was the first comic, that and Iron Man. Star Wars, Iron Man, and G.I. Joe. I got
when was this roughly? Like what year?
This is early 1980s, I think.
And me, I'm 56 years old. Damn!
I'm sorry.
That was great timing.
Absolutely walked right into that. I'm not.
Can't even be mad at it.
Anyway, Star Wars is one of those comics, my original comics I got subscriptions to, and this is one of the issues I was missing, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Let's see what else. I'm just going through piles of comics I got sitting on my desk. My to be read pile. I've been collecting these Vixen NYC books, which is a printing of webtoons.
I forgot. I haven't even seen those anywhere.
Oh yeah, they're there. This is issue 6, so they've had 6 of these, and they're thick.
Oh, nice.
They're thick books.
Oh wow.
Okay. And they're drawn in almost kind of a manga style. to give you a
Well,
view.
DC's doing a lot then, right? DC's trying to innovate a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
are. They're
Like they're
turning it
changing the
up a little
format
bit.
and
Yeah.
Well, what's cool is we complain, where's my black superheroes? DC's got all these black superheroes. Here's an ongoing series of literally one of my favorite DC superheroines, Vixen, and in it, it talks about her past, her family, where her powers come from, right? It delves into that. It has also one of her friends that she hangs out with and goes on superhero adventures with is Bumblebee.
Oh, cool.
Bumblebee's in the series as well. And then you've got, appearances by Batman.
There's a question for you, Paul.
Robin. What's it say? What's the question? Does Vixen get accosted by panhandlers in New York City? She gets accosted by a lot more than that. I want to say, is that one of Black Lightning's kids? I think this might be one of Black Lightning's kids. So that might be Thunder. I don't know. I haven't read this issue yet. But yeah, I recommend these, man. Instead of complaining about where's all the black superheroes in DC, they're in this
They're
webtoon.
here.
Check that out.
Cool.
It's a nice thick book too. Let's see what else did I pick up. Here's the thing. People sometimes think we're black comic lords. We know everything. We don't. Not even close. We don't even pretend like we do. But that's the fun part of the space is we learn from y'all as much as you may occasionally learn some things from us. I love when I surf our Facebook page and I see somebody post up, hey, did you see this? Look what I picked up. Did you know about this? And then I'm learning, I'm like, damn, I need to go buy that. That's dope.
There was one of those posts just the other day, right? That you responded to.
Oh, I love Spidey.
The Spidey Super Stories. This is one with Falcon.
That's so cool.
I
think I have that one.
I bought this. This is another one that someone said something in the space, but I don't remember what the significance was. So now I've got to read it and figure out what was the significance of this issue that made me want to buy this back issue. Let's see if I can thumb through it and figure it out real quick. I don't think so. I don't want to bore you guys. Just think me sitting here looking at it. But
too late.
I didn't mean to bore you that quick.
No, I just.
What issue is it?
This is Avengers 224. I'm trying to figure out what the blacknificence of this particular
black.
The blacknificence of it. That's usually what
MD Bright. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was MD Bright.
Is that?
Yeah, I remember seeing that cover. Yeah.
Wait, what was the issue number again?
Avengers 224.
Exactly it. This is MD Bright's first work for Marvel.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
Blade trailer is out. It's called Sinners by RC.
No, we need to talk about that.
Blade trailer.
It's not Blade. All right, it's actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's another vampire movie.
Well, kind of. Can you pull up a picture for that Sinners show?
Sinners.
It's the closest thing we'll get to a Blade movie. I know that's what Stas' series is.
Well, no, it's not Blade actually. It's another comic book.
Sinners.
It's a pity we can't. Guess who just walked in the building?
There we go.
Welcome.
What's up, Rich?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
How you doing, bro?
Hanging in.
Yes, sir.
Rich, did you see the trailer for that new movie, Sinners?
No.
All right. I
Here we
would
go.
submit that people are like, "Oh, it's a new Blade movie." It's not Blade. Not Blade.
No.
Let me give you the backstory or what you see in the trailer. You see my man Michael B. Jordan, post World War II veteran, right? Goes to small town, black town, southern town, and it's after the war, and he's fighting things going bump in the night, and he's joined with these other people. I don't know if it's part of his family or people in the community, but they join together to fight the whatever's taking over, these evil forces, these bad people, these supernatural people that go bump in the night. People are like, "Oh, that's Blade." I don't think so. I think it's actually Bitterroot. If there's one property that I think that sounds the closest to, especially if the people he's fighting with end up being his family, that sounds like they're kind of doing Bitterroot. Except this is in the 1940s, and the original Bitterroot was in the 1920s. So, Neon Apathy says sounds more like closer to Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country was that the 1950s? It was 1950s, right? The show took place.
I'm gonna need black people to think a little more futuristic. We doing movies from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. Eventually, you're gonna see Vampire Blade meets 12 Years a Slave. We gotta go deeper. I think that I'm just saying, bro, because we need something fresh. We need something unique. We don't need to rehash what's already been done. And I mean, I'm gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying? I like Michael B. Jordan. I like, Ryan Coogler when he isn't doing 2.5 hour, funerals to sort out his issues. But
double funeral.
Yeah, so. But I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I mean, it's so weird though, man. We're living in a weird time. Did you guys see the Joker trailer? Joker 2.
There's a new one that came out. I have not seen it yet.
It's coming out next week, I think.
Basically, anything you can ask me about, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen the
It's
first
got
one.
Well, the word is this is gonna be like a musical.
Yes, correct.
Oh God.
And so it's kind of like, really, I'm not, I'm not a musical guy. I never saw Hamilton. I think the last musical I saw was probably Sound of Music, and I was about 5.
My God, man.
The Hills Are Alive.
I don't like musicals. I didn't really like the music in Lion King.
Oh,
I was ready for the music to be over when the Lion King. I just can't wait to be my king. All right, get out the way. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, man. Do you pull the wings off flies too? Jeez.
I'm just saying, bro. I mean,
I got free tickets next week, so I guess I'll let y'all know.
To the Lion King?
No, to Joker.
Oh, okay. It comes out next week?
Oh, if it don't, I guess I got early pre-screen. I don't know. I never.
Yeah, it actually comes out. It comes out like the first week in October. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't kept up with any of that stuff. That's bad.
Yeah. And see, that's the problem. That's the problem. The stuff is so terrible today. People don't even want to watch TV. Rings of Power with Paul's black munchkins or hobbits or whatever you want to call them. Man, that story is so terrible. It's ridiculous.
It's not terrible stuff.
I set up and watched. I've tried to watch that thing like 3 times. I went to sleep every time. I'm just saying, bro.
You didn't like the Wiz?
You know, J.R. Tolkien is probably turning over in it. J.R.R. Tolkien is probably turning over in his grave what they've done with his franchise, with his IP. I'm just saying.
Well, probably because he didn't want black people in it. But yeah,
I don't know about that now. You ain't gonna put that on J.R.R. Tolkien. We're gonna put some respect on the man that created Lord of the Rings. Thank you very much, and The Hobbit. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You know, just because you want to walk around. And here's the thing: the black hobbits look like they on crack.
Oh,
what
geez.
Black hobbits? They look crazy. They look crazy. They look like they look like they picked them up off of over there in Compton, and just say y'all come and just sit on set with us.
Oh, jeez.
Angel. They look put like this. Tyler Perry thinks they can do a better job.
He probably could.
Where's our disclaimer? Where's our disclaimer? This guy's out here.
There we go.
I only watched maybe the first few episodes, and I became completely disinterested. I'm like, it was just weird.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of television, they're talking about the DC stuff too. I watched Penguin, or I'm watching Penguin. I actually stopped watching Penguin so I can jump on here with y'all fools. But Penguin, so far in this first episode that I'm watching, is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah,
it's not a comic book type thing. For all intents and purposes, if it had not been named Penguin and the characters' names were different, it would just be a legitimate gangster show. That's literally all it is. It's a gangster show.
Yeah, it's Sopranos meets Donnie Brasco.
Right. Your protagonist is a criminal. However, because because he's your protagonist, you're seeing things from his perspective. You kind of empathize with him. He's not as bad as the other criminals that are out there, right?
Super chat.
And so he's not a hero. He's not even an anti-hero. He's just, there's different shades of bad, and he's a lighter shade of bad, and he's trying to police.
I keep telling y'all, there are no cool places. There are no cool places in hell.
Wow.
No.
Very black and white.
Hey, L Dog, thank you so much for the super chat. We definitely appreciate that. Thank you for getting us started for the night.
Yeah, but yeah.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
We like.
Yay. Thank you.
Are now open. L Dog, thank you for opening the pockets and the purses. I hope the rest of y'all can follow suit, because we have things to fund.
So the Penguin was definitely a surprise thing for me. When I sat down to watch it, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So Matt Reeves is he's doing his thing, and so hopefully it gets better and better and better. But you know, it's kind of funny. I made a statement on Sunday night where, you know, even though Matt Reeves is doing this, by and large, James Gunn's gonna get credit because all of this is kind of happening.
He shouldn't, because Matt
He
Reeves
should, but he's gonna get credit because this is kind of like, you know, they've given him the keys to the Porsche, so to speak. And somebody pointed out, well, this is actually an alternative universe. Yeah, I know all the multiverse crap. I get it, blah blah blah. But still, it doesn't matter.
That's your DC. That's your DC,
bruh. You get no argument from me, but I'm like this, more the merrier. You know, Amir, shout out to Amir. He asked me, I'm not on vacation. I'm back at work. He was saying that, you know, he wanted Matt Reeves to kind of, you know, well, James Gunn's supposed to do a Batman movie as well, but he wants Matt Reeves to just kind of rock out and let him do what he's doing with the Batman, that kind of thing. And I kind of agree, but at the same time, it's like, if y'all gonna make it, we're gonna go see it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a tub of popcorn. We're gonna get bonbons and jujubes, and we're gonna sneak some chicken dinners into the theater, and we gonna watch. Look, don't look.
It's like how can you say that you ghetto is all hell without saying you ghetto is all hell?
Look,
you just did.
I have snuck in 6-piece chicken wing dinners fried real hard in the theater. Have the
I've been to those
theater smelling like have the whole theater smelling like Creole chicken.
Chicken wing bones on the floor. The seats are all sticky. I
Yep.
don't need those type of theaters.
Yep. Be right there. But nice big old grease stain on the armrest.
People talking through the whole movie. You got to watch the movie more. This is why Rich. You ever notice Rich is like, I've seen that movie so many times in the theater. The reason why, because you can't hear the theater the first time. You can't hear the whole movie.
That's right. That's right. That's me. That's me with the 6-piece. Get all the fries you can give me, and big red soda water. They don't even sell Big Red. I clowned a guy one time at the theater. I was like, man, I want he asked me what kind of drink. I said, I want Big Red. Oh, sir, we don't have that. Why you don't have Big Red? What's wrong with y'all? Are y'all racist against Big Red soda water?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, but look, we're gonna go to the theaters, we're gonna go see it, regardless of what it is. But I'm not feeling this whole musical thing that they talking about doing with Joker. Now I like Oh Boy, you know what I'm saying? But a musical? I don't know, bro.
Well, they did a musical for what? For The Color Purple? When the second version was a musical.
Yep. I didn't need to go see that.
It wasn't
I
bad.
didn't go see that either. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I just do not feel musical. Now somebody brought up The Wiz. The Wiz is probably the greatest musical ever done.
Yes, that I loved it. I watch it a million times.
The
Even
Wiz
today.
is amazing. So yeah, that's about the only one.
Well, all but except that last scene, which I still can't watch.
Which one? You talking about
the end of the movie? That was just weird.
The end of the movie. She went home. She went back
they're down in the subway, and they turn from one thing into something else. That was so trippy. I just remember little 5-year-old, 6-year-old me, however old I was. Like, what the hell did I just watch? And I'm having nightmares for years afterwards. There
was a little scene in the movie where they had the little the guy had the little keyboard, and the little two Greek pink things grew up or whatever and started chasing them in the subway. That was a little creepy.
The yayo was mad strong back then, man. They were on some other stuff, man. Like yeah.
So, but
that was inspired by something.
Yeah, but yeah. So we got that. We got the. Let's see. Did you guys see Transformers? Have y'all been to see Transformers?
No, but I heard it was dope. That people talking about it's the best Transformers movie ever did.
Yes, there's no humans in it, and it was amazing. Okay. Like everything that we were looking for a true origin story. And not to give out any spoilers, but it shows the transition of different characters as they grow because of the circumstances that they're in. I loved it. Okay. It was everything.
I love that you said that there's no humans in it. I've always thought that the humans detracted from the story of Transformers. Like, why would these beings like sit here and kowtow and try to protect these foolish little puny human people that are just trying to shoot at them, and they're stupid, and it just never made any sense to me.
But then with the humans, the Transformers always get injured more because they're trying to protect them.
Right.
It's so ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense. So I like the fact that you're saying that this is just about the Transformers.
No
That's
humans.
dope. Cybertron.
This is Homeworld. This is their life before they traveled. It was brilliantly done.
All-star cast doing the voice work too, right?
Oh man, that was great. Yep. It was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and I'll make sure when I go into the movie theater, I have my you're gonna hear a can of soda pop open because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it rich style.
Hey,
You know
hey,
how it is, man. When you're in a theater and you hear a can of soda opening, because you know they don't sell cans of soda in the theater. You're like,
No.
what is that? That was me. I mean, my mom always had. Look, I'm telling myself I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I just remember mom having a big purse. We stopping off at the little corner store before we go to the theater because of prices on stuff. And all of a sudden, you're hearing plastic bags being ripped open. It's like, they don't have plastic bags for
Yes.
popcorn.
Yep.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to do.
I mean, we come from a time that me and like I said, we're older, but I grew up going to drive-in theaters. So we would just drive. We would just have, dinner at the theater or whatever. My mom and dad, one night they took me to see, me and my brother, we went to go see the Planet of the Apes. They had a marathon. Had all the Planet of the Apes movies. They had the first one, then they had the Return of the Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Well, it was like 5 movies. We left the theater, the sun was coming up. That's how many movies that we saw. But we went oh yeah, it was amazing. But we went to the drive-in. We used to go all the time. And there are a few drive-ins still today, but it's just not the same, I think, because some nostalgia stuff is just, for the time, it is what it is. That's kind of how we consumed entertainment.
Drive-in theaters were the best. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I think there's one left the last one I saw is down in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. And that was a big one. It was a big swap meet that we have in Broward County. And people would go, all the families, because this is the black section of Broward anyway. So families go there on the weekend, just watch back to back movies. Yeah, that's dope. All the first run stuff too.
Yeah.
And look, and that's the only way you can really afford to take an entire family to go see a movie.
Yeah.
You stop at your Popeyes before you go.
Can we talk about how expensive entertainment is?
Look, bro, listen. It makes more sense for you to invest in buying a big screen theater, big screen TV with a home theater system, and just wait for it to hit a stream channel. And it just makes more economic sense. And the technology is catching up now where you can have an in-home theater experience, which is almost comparable to what you have in the theaters. So, that's how people are consuming stuff now.
But there's still some movies that are
Spot
better.
Chop on Sunrise. That's correct. Gaming While It's Hot. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
But
You know if it's still up? Because I think I heard it went out of business a couple years ago.
What was you saying, Derek?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I forget what I was saying now.
Well, I would just say
that.
Yeah,
I know what it was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some movies you can't replace the theater experience.
Yes.
Not many, but some you just cannot replace that theater.
Well, if it's an IMAX movie, it's a 3D movie, something like that. Yeah, you can't.
No. Here's the number one movie you cannot see, or that you need to see in a theater, regardless, even if it's whack, is Star Wars movies. Star Wars movies are made for the theater experience.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Point blank, Star Wars movies. I mean, you can watch the Star Wars movies, on a big screen at home or whatever. And to your point, Paul, you can kind of get the experience. But I remember going to the theaters and seeing Star Wars, and the CGI, or the quote unquote technology back then in 1977 is nothing compared to what it is now.
I was about to say CGI. Well, they had
I just remember just being blown away. Just being blown away watching that in the theaters.
They made that movie with models and firecrackers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the chat a question, and it can be for us too. What is one movie that is absolutely made, or the top movie that's made for big screen? Have to watch it in theater.
Oh, jeez.
My favorite is, I can just off the top of my head, my favorite is Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. because
of the long
of
wait,
the-
huh?
well, because of the pod racing. The pod racing
yeah,
scenes
that was incredible.
was incredible.
Yeah.
So for me, that kind of just stands out. There are probably others, but that one stands out for sure.
I don't know. That's a tough question, man.
Mm.
So many movies. Jurassic Park, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
That
saw
was
Paranormal Activity in the theater, and I had a blast just watching so many people scream and get scared. That was a few people got up and ran out of the theater halfway through. It was great. I was so entertained watching that movie.
I remember watching Blair Witch Project in the theater.
Oh,
having,
that was creepy as
messed me
hell.
up for a minute. That messed me up. I might have had the light on to sleep for a month or two after that. I ain't gonna lie.
I'll say for a recent movie, Alien Romulus, because for the first time, it was just the combination. So you need taboo and you need enough subconscious fear elements in a movie to really scare you. And Alien Romulus did that for the first time in I cannot remember how long. I jumped out of my freaking seat so many times. It was great. So that is a good theater movie. Is Alien Romulus? I know that's a little newer, but that was
Dog
good.
mentions a movie that has to be seen in the theater. That's Avatar.
Oh
Avatar,
yes,
in 3D, an IMAX 3D was a
yep.
freaking experience. That was an experience.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, look, me, I'm just petty like this. I'm like, watching colonialist aliens, and I'm sorry, I ain't spoiled it for y'all. It's just like Alien Romulus. I remember Angel. I was telling Paul, me and Paul were talking about the franchise Aliens, and so I traumatized him. I said, you do know that's actually, grape. We can't say the R word here because we're on YouTube. But I said, you really do know that that's what that is.
Yes.
They try to see what their mouth do.
Yeah. Oh.
So after that, Paul was like, Richard, you just ruined it. That for me. I'm like, that's what it is. And it's so weird because a movie like, I love the Alien franchise, and they've had some real good Alien movies, but I really wish that they would do more of the Alien versus Predator stuff. That's what I want to see again. Because I didn't like the last one, the requirement that they did, but the very first Alien versus Predator, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
You see, Avatar is just Fern Gully in the last range.
Right.
Right. Wow. You're ruining my childhood, man.
Stabbing. That was stabbing.
But as far as movies that you go to see in the theaters that just like really amazing.
Blade Runner needs to be seen in the theater, definitely.
I'll tell you a movie that really blew my mind when I saw it in the theaters, and that was Blade.
Yeah.
The shock of it, just because like we're in the theaters watching Blade, right? And I wasn't really up on the comic book character like that when I saw Blade, because this came out.
I don't think hardly anybody was, honestly.
Except hardly anybody was, but I just remember this shower, this blood shower that took place. That was shocking by itself, right?
Yeah. And
then to see, Blade's boots, that sound, that boom, and then you pull away or whatever. Then you see Wesley Snipes. You see this black man with this leather trench coat. You know what I'm saying? And he just got this devilish grin, and they're like Daywalker, and then he just lights them up.
That is a movie that I literally never get tired of watching. If I'm surfing channels and it's on, I will put it on and watch it. Never get tired of watching their first Blade movie.
My local theater had Blade a few months back, and I went to watch it. It was good.
Just hearing you talk about it makes me want to go watch it again.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings movies too are very good to watch in theaters.
Yep.
I think that they have been amazing, especially the second trilogy. I think with the Desolation of Smaug with the dragon. I thought that was amazing. I kind of wish that they would put that Game of Thrones would actually do a movie version of the franchise with just the dragons, because the dragons are off the chain. Second season of House of Dragon was amazing.
Well, you know they're trying to do a prequel show called The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So
Really?
that maybe that might have some more dragons in it. Marwan Williams says Highlander. God, I'm a big Highlander fan. I hear that they're doing a new Highlander with my man Henry Cavill. That
he's doing Warhammer.
To do that.
He's doing that too?
Yeah.
Man, he should be. Listen, he should still be Superman.
I agree with that.
He should.
1000%.
He really should.
You know, James Gunn, if you out there listening, bro, I know you got this dude. You got this funky, this funky S on his chest, and the world is blowing up. And he putting his boots on. Okay, bro. I'm just saying.
Look, all I gotta say is James Gunn better knock it out the park, because a lot of people feel the same way, that Henry Cavill was a damn good Superman. There was absolutely no reason to replace him, particularly when he just filmed that extra scene for Black Adam. They
asked him to do that.
There was literally no reason to replace that man. He's still in his prime. He could still do the suit. He's got a lot of years left in him to play Superman. People liked him. They didn't like Scott Snyder's version of him, but I mean that's direction. The actor himself was a very good Superman. So this new guy, if he don't, I mean, he's going to be immediately compared to Henry Cavill. If he doesn't knock it out the park, people will automatically say James Gunn is a failure. They will automatically say that. So good luck, bro.
Yep. And me personally, I'm kind of worried about who they're gonna cast Batman.
Super chat.
Yeah, super chat.
Hey, Roman Curtis. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
He said, I would like to apologize to Rich for missing his Sunday show when he announced that Black Lightning was getting his book on again. Oh, respect, bro. Thank you. But yeah, that's my guy. Let's go.
That was everybody in Wakanda reacting to the
Thank you.
Black Lightning announcement.
all of the Wakanda people. The Black Lightning is back. Black Lightning is back.
Black who? I am not. We are not familiar with this term, Black Lightning. Is lightning black? We don't know.
Yeah, you better get familiar. All you Wakandan people. All y'all.
That right there. That's my problem.
So I fell
my father
man.
all the time falling asleep in movies, and now that's me.
But that's because you work
that's the thing too. I would say, Derek, I would say too that some of the movies have gotten too long.
2 hours.
If you're gonna do a movie, like I guess, what movie did you guys really enjoy? The Justice League, the Snyder Cut version was like 4 hours. Did y'all really enjoy that?
I honestly enjoyed it better than the original version.
Me too.
I honestly did. I preferred his director's cut than the original.
But I mean, it was long though, bro.
Yeah, but I watched it at home.
I didn't even.
So
yeah, I didn't.
I took a bathroom break. It wasn't a big deal.
That's the power of streaming. The power of streaming. You could just pause it and do something.
Gotta hit the head. Refill my microwaved popcorn. Movie theater edition. You know, pour myself another beverage.
Just, but some of these movies are Too long.
Took 4 days to watch that. I think I watched it on one of my overseas trips, and it was too long of a movie to watch on a plane.
Yeah, man, that's just too much content. And if you're gonna do some content like that, that movie's got to always be engaged. Like, to me, let me ask you this, Paul.
Hold on. Before you ask that question, this is what happens on this show. Derek makes some off the cuff remark about, yeah, I think I might have watched it on one of my overseas trips.
This guy here.
Let me explain something to y'all. Derek is like Tommy from Martin. Nobody knows what the hell this guy does for a living, or where he's going and why he's doing things.
Terrible.
I look, I'm afraid to ask too many questions, but all I know is Derek is very well connected, and he travels the world to places that most people don't want to go to, like, constantly. And he's doing stuff, and he's like, hey, Derek, can we have a meeting? No, I'm in the middle of Dubai and they're having issues that I have to fix. Like, what the hell, Derek?
Make it happen.
Derek, where are you gonna be in October, bro? Are you allowed to tell us?
Oh. Yeah,
No.
I'll be in a few places. Yeah.
He'll be in a few places. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You see how he's always flexing on us?
At some point, I'll be in Europe and in Asia. And that'll be the end of. That's all I'll say.
That's his assignments.
Yeah.
Look, don't piss the man off. That's all I gotta say. Don't piss the dude off.
What is the perfect, or you think have we seen the perfect superhero movie? And if so, what was it?
Superman 1 and Superman 2.
Superman the movie.
Yeah,
Superman
absolutely.
Superman the movie. Yep.
Perfect movie.
Perfect movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely enjoy Superman for sure. But I gotta say, man, Infinity War. That was.
Well, which one's better,
monster.
Infinity War or Endgame?
Infinity War. Endgame to me
I would
was.
say Endgame.
Endgame to me was them going back in time to kind of get the stones and that kind of thing, that whole story thing. It was cool. It really was. I mean, what I'm saying? Endgame made me cry because of what happened with Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but
before that moment when Cap looks defeated and he hears "On Your Left,"
mm-hmm.
and all the superheroes come out and he yells "Avengers Assemble," every fan person in America, in the world, had the hair stand up on the back of their necks and took chills when he says "Avengers Assemble." It was like a culmination of 10 years of storytelling in one freaking moment, and it was amazing. I will say Infinity War, though, that movie at the end, the way it ended, Infinity War, where the good guys lost,
that
had people shook. Because remember, we didn't know Endgame was coming. So we walked out of Infinity War like
you could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop.
It was dead quiet. People were shook, like, oh my God.
You were beat up.
The good guys lost.
Movie. Yeah.
Does the Black Panther belong on that list?
In
best superhero movie?
In 2018 it did.
Not now.
BP, the original Black Panther movie, I think, was a masterpiece. Was it perfect? No. Because me and Paul have talked about this. We have not seen the canonical version of Black Panther on screen. We have seen a Black Panther movie, but we have not seen the Black Panther in the comics. We hadn't seen that dude. My problem ever see that dude because that dude is very, very he's Edison Crane-ish, if I can say it like that. He's almost like the prodigy that Mark Millar does. He's almost perfect. He's flawless. And so it's like, what would you do if you really had that dude on screen. Because he has no peers, he has no equals. You got to almost nerf him for it to be even an entertaining movie. Because who is this real like villain? I mean, is it really Killmonger?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is it Doom?
Yes.
Or is it Doom?
Oh, you talking about in the comics?
In the comics. Or is it Namor?
I would say
Black
of those three characters and throwing in Claw, the one character that truly hurt T'Challa was Dr. Doom. That dude hurt T'Challa. That dude damn near killed T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Those other characters can't say that. Killmonger's throwing him off Victoria Falls, whatever. But Doom hurt him on a level that in order to defeat Doom, he had to destroy all the vibranium in the world. Yep. He had to create an entirely different level of science to defeat Doom, because it wasn't just a physical battle. When T'Challa fights Killmonger, for the most part, it's mostly with the exclusion of the jungle action stories. It was mostly a physical thing. His battle with Doom was taking place when he didn't even know it was taking place, because Doom was setting him up with all these other elements trying to take over the country, and leading to his defeat, setting him up, man. Yeah, Doom, I would say, because and they always have this rivalry as leaders of countries. They have that rivalry. He has that with Namor too, but Doom is the only one who actually took him out.
So, and we're gonna get, I guess we're getting Doom. Doomsday or whatever this movie's gonna be called. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that when it comes to the movies that we've seen, it's kind of hard to beat Superman.
Yeah.
For sure. We talk about this scene all the time, Paul. When he grabs Zod's hand and he's kneeling before Zod and he crushes it in his hand and the music comes on, it's like there's nothing better than
Superman 1
is really simple and a really simple scene. There's no special effects or anything.
Yeah.
Right, but understand that's Superman 2. It's
that's right. That's right.
Superman 1.
Oh yeah, that was Superman 2.
That's Lex Luthor.
They actually filmed a lot of what you see in Superman 2. Richard Donner did in Superman 1.
Yeah.
His budget, I guess he had enough budget. He filmed extra scenes, and that's what led to Superman 2. So
he shot it.
Really and truly, Superman 1 and 2 is actually one film. It just got broken up into two parts.
Yeah.
However, Superman 2 was not. It was not edited by Donner. Somebody else determined that.
Right.
It ended up being a lot more campy than it should have been.
There's the Christopher Reeves documentary. I think it's getting ready to drop.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just saw something about it today on I think it was Hollywood Forever, something. It was one of the gossip TV shows that come on right after the news or whatever.
I'm interested in Kenneth's comment. I'm wondering from what perspective you come from.
Kenneth on that stuff, man.
I thought Superman 1 was
but I could understand that if I were born in the 90s or 2000s and I've seen some of the other superhero movies and then I go back and watch then I watch a Superman, I'll be like, what's so special? At the time, you'd never really seen a man fly like that on the screen. Right.
Yeah, I from that perspective, yeah. If you compare the original Superman movie to what you saw in these MCU movies, you feel like it's not nearly as good. I can get that. I can get that. But for me, seeing Superman when I was 6 years old, and I see a man flying, and it looks like, because before that, the only Superman I saw was Super Friends Superman. and George Reeves Superman in black and white on my old black and white television.
Yep.
That's it. So seeing Christopher Reeves in full color, and here's the thing, the color scheme that Richard Donner used was literally a comic book. You were watching a comic book on the screen. Superman's color scheme was bright blue, bright red, bright yellow, and somehow he did it, but it didn't look campy when he did it. And that was the criticism that Scott Snyder got for his version of Superman with Man of Steel. It doesn't matter how well the film might have been filmed, because he chose to do a color palette that was so subdued and dark and gray, and you compare that to what Richard Donner did with the original Superman, it's night and day. Literally, the beginning, when you I don't know if it's a director's cut, but there's a version at the beginning of the movie. I think it might be the director's cut. How the movie begins is you see a copy of the first Superman comic book, Action Comics, I guess it's #1, right? Mm-hmm. You see the cover for Action Comics #1, and the page is open, and you're flipping through the pages, and that's how the movie begins. Because you were literally, it was Richard Donner saying, I'm literally taking you into the comic book. And so he using that same color palette, it made sense.
So he's followed up. He didn't like it when he was young, always been an action man. See, I can understand that too. Because movies back then were more about dialogue, interactions between characters.
Yeah, but there's also they didn't have the budget and the special effects to make all the whiz bang stuff you see today. Now the technology,
but even then they wouldn't have loaded up.
Superheroes, nothing.
But people back then couldn't have watched that much. They would have been completely overloaded with action the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think that there's no. I mean, there's Superman to me is one of the quote. If you could put a term perfect on it, it's nearly perfect, if not almost perfect. Yeah. Thing is, for the time, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it, and so it's just like Star Wars. Star Wars was amazing. Now, here's the funny thing about Star Wars, right? As the technology got better, they would go back and they would re-release the same movies. They released Star Wars, the first trilogy, about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
because they updated the technology,
the visual effects. Yeah,
the visual effects. So, because for that time or whatever, Star Wars was cutting edge. Now, never mind that we've watched, for years, Star Trek. Space 1999.
Yeah, you talking about something nobody who's watching here knows about.
Battlestar Galactica, the original Battlestar Galactica.
I love that.
The Cylons, which is really, in my opinion, I think he kind of stole. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right about that. When did Battlestar Galactica come out?
1978.
And Star Wars came out in 77.
Correct.
So,
maybe, Star Wars
it's a possibility that Battlestar Galactica bit from Star Wars.
Oh, it wasn't.
I was going to say the
Cylons. It's absolute certainty. If you watch the documentary, it's absolute certainty. They literally admit we were stealing from the Star Wars craze.
Yeah. Cylons and stormtroopers look too similar.
yeah. But I just dug the Cylons with the little light going across.
Yes.
So that was pretty dope.
Battlestar Galactica was my favorite show as a kid. Me and my dad would sit there every Sunday night and watch that show. And I loved the fact that you had 2 black main characters on that show, and no one ever said, hey, it's the black guy. Like, they were just doing their roles, man. And, you had Colonel Ty, who's the second in command of the ship. You had Boomer, who was the main man, fighter pilot dude. And he was always cool. And they weren't playing stereotypes. They were playing heroic, smart, intelligent, professional men on this show. And it was like nothing cool. There was nothing super different about it. It wasn't a big deal. That type of representation always impressed me, particularly as a kid. I used to always visualize I was Boomer back then. I love that show, man. I love Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
I
Somebody
wanted to
brought up
add just a little correction because when we're talking about Christopher Reeve's movie in comparison to Justice League, Paul had mentioned Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder is a comic book artist,
Zack
and
Snyder. That's what you're talking
Oh, I
Zack
said Zack.
Snyder
I
is
meant Zack Snyder. Sorry.
yeah.
Scott
Just
Snyder.
so you know, if anybody looks back, I just wanted to make the difference. Sorry, Scott. it's
No
actually
worries.
Zach where
Now,
we met.
Cold Tiger mentions Logan's Run. I think that was one of the most amazing movies ever.
Logan's Run. Wow.
Never the special effects on that was horrible. But that was still a great movie, man. That was still a great movie.
The premise, the storyline was actually really good.
But
I
you know,
remember
some of the movies from back in those days, man, the stories were amazing. Because you remember Logan's Run was about basically this was a postmodern society who had population had exploded. They was overpopulated. So now they say, you know what, you can live your best life, but you can only live until you turn 30, and then you die.
Well,
and
you don't die, you get renewed.
Whatever. But I remember my dad took me to go see, we saw Solid Green in the theaters. And that was like the first movie, I got to say, that as a kid blew my mind. Because you're watching this movie, right? You're watching it, and you really, as a kid, you don't really know what's kind of going on. You're just kind of watching these scenes, and what's his name? Charlton Heston is kind of investigating things, or whatever. And then all you see is these little wafers on these things, or whatever. And then I just remember him saying at the end of the movie, "Solid Green is people." Yeah. It's like they were. That was so shocking for the time. They didn't realize that because there was no food for people to eat, they had to eat each other.
Yeah. The thing is, all these movies you talk about, Soylent Green, Andromeda Strain, Logan's Run, all based on fantastic novels. I used to read a lot of sci-fi books when I was a kid, and these are all based on George Orwell's 1984, like Fahrenheit. I mean, 451.
Yes,
these are classic books that are probably being thrown out of schools right now. But this is where
very much so
imagination and social commentary was strong. And Jay Wilkes, I agree with you. Last Starfighter, let me tell you something. If ever, one of the things I complain about is where they're always trying to remake stuff and not be original. But with Last Starfighter, there's an exception. If ever there was a movie that was ahead of its time and deserves to be remade for a modern era, it is Last Starfighter. 1984, Lance Guest, greetings, Starfighter. You've been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zor and the Kodan Armada. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, that's how many times I've seen this movie. All right? Imagine, and it's real easy to remake. Imagine Xbox or Sony PlayStation releases a new video game, and the trick to that game is whoever beats the game gets invited, wins a special prize. And little Alex Rogan from a trailer park town and small trailer park town community in California. His dad died years ago. His mom runs a trailer park. He has a little brother who's annoying. He has a girlfriend who's smart, and they have dreams of going off to college together. And he doesn't want to go to community college with the rest of his high school buddies. He has big dreams of being something big. He doesn't know what it is, but he wants to go away, leave the trailer park, go to a big school away from his old town, and have a big life with his girlfriend. So he wins the video game, happy, and one day he gets a knock on the door, and proverbially, and it's a guy who says, "Hey, you won the game. I'm here to give you your prize." And he gets attacked by a bounty hunter alien. He's like, who the hell is that? Don't worry about it. Get in this car. The car turns into a spaceship, flies out into space, and you've been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zor and the Kodan Armada. He becomes the last starfighter and saves the universe from evil forces. It's one of the dopest movies I've ever seen in my life. If you've never seen it, please, I encourage you to watch that movie. I love that freaking movie.
That's cool. Let me ask you this. Were you a big fan of Stargate?
No, I did not like Stargate. My dad loved Stargate, watched it repeatedly. You know, and it's not, I didn't like Stargate for a very petty reason. You know what that reason was?
Why, Paul?
The premise of the show is that they're going to different worlds,
right?
Throughout the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Why does everyone speak English?
Because white supremacy is everywhere, baby.
Exactly. I could not stand that concept. I'm like, why does everyone come up with a simple reason? Like they have a little earpiece that translates, and Star Trek does that. They said we have our communicators, and the communicators translates what we say so that the aliens can understand. And we're not dealing with all that. We're not dealing with all that.
That is a trope. White supremacy is the biggest trope in the world. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because think about it like this. We grew up, at least I grew up watching Lassie. And Lassie would bark, ruff, ruff, ruff. And you say, oh, Tommy is stuck at the bottom of a canyon? Let's go.
That is so true.
So everybody speak English. You do, and you can talk to a dog, you talk to a cat, Flipper. The Flipper, the dolphin. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's trying to flip.
Damn it. Look, there was Lassie, there was Flipper, and there was Big Ben. Remember Big Ben?
Big Ben? Not only that, hey, look, the biggest one, Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed, yeah.
The horse, of course.
God. And I know some of y'all scratching your head like, what the hell are they talking about? We old, y'all. We old.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I enjoy. I think that the science fiction that we grew up with was pretty amazing. When you think about the leap that that the technology has made or whatever, it has made these old stories brand new, which is why I don't understand why, when they did Dune, I wasn't a Dune guy. I missed the Dune bus. So I'm having to kind of like learn about it. He says, I like how my best friend didn't like Star Trek because John Picard was bald. He was like, how can they have all this technology and can't fix baldness? Wow. I don't know, man. I mean, let me ask you this. Now you Star Trek's guy, Paul.
I am.
Who are your favorite? Who's your favorite villains? Is it the Klingons? Is it the Romulans? Or
Klingons.
Is it the Borg?
I love the Klingons. Every episode of all the Star Trek series, it was the Next Generation that truly got you to explore who the Klingons are. There's a cross between Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, but those two shows really got you to explore who the Klingons are through Worf. And every episode in which Klingons appeared was a dope episode for me. Every episode, the best Star Trek Next Generation episodes are ones that either centered around Klingons or episodes that centered around Data.
Yeah.
Those were all the best episodes.
Okay. You like the Borg?
The Borg were great. I mean, the 2-part episode, I mean, that was awesome. But in terms of, they're just great villains. But in terms of like character development and, just that. In terms of character development, the episodes of the Klingons, the episodes centering around Data were really almost human interest stories. The Borg were just a great antagonist.
Smoothie Pro says the Conan series should not be remade. They tried to do that. They tried to remake Conan. Who was the guy that
That
they
Conan
got to?
television show was that show was not good.
No, it wasn't very good at all.
They don't know how to do certain things, man. It is what it is.
I like how Derek is trolling us as we're doing the show.
He said,
Talking about this is supposed to be a comic
and
book
then
show.
it's supposed to be a comic book show. Well, look, there
I'm
are
just
some
kidding,
I
y'all.
have you know, Derek, the majority.
All these
the
shows
majority,
have comic books, though.
exactly what Angel just said. The majority of the stuff that we've talked about all have comic books.
I guess
Just
one
so
of my favorite science fiction. It was actually science fiction fantasy, and that was Crawl.
Crow.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I have, speaking of comic books and how this is related, I have the comic book adaptation, the original one from that Krull movie.
Yep.
I've talked about my weapons collection. I've got my blade sword, the sword from the Klingon Batlev, Captain America shield, Highlander sword, Michonne sword from Walking Dead, the sword from Kill Bill. I actually have a Hattori Hanzo remake sword from Kill Bill signed by David Carradine himself.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Yeah, I do. It's sitting right over there. But yeah, the one thing I've always wanted is the glaive from Krull. Those things are hard to find.
Crow, yeah, man, Crow was amazing. Crow was amazing for what it was. Yeah. I mean, that was like a one-off. We never saw it again, but that was
Right.
that was
It definitely did not need a sequel. It was the one shot.
Good. Yeah, it was good as a one shot.
A lot of good stuff. But I don't know, man. I mean, like today's stuff or whatever, there's a lot of manga, a lot of anime stuff, but as far as like new science fiction type stuff, what's out there? What's out there? Because I do not know. They have to remake the old stuff, like the Godzilla stuff. Whether you talk about minus zero or the King Kong, Godzilla, the new Empire, that stuff like that. It's like people
or the new Star Trek Section 31 shows coming out.
So there's going to be a new Star Trek show?
Yeah, called Section 31.
Oh,
it's been in development for the last 2
31.
years.
What's that about?
So Section 31 is a division of Starfleet that centers around this one part of the Starfleet charter, which says, we obey all these rules except when, there's catastrophic danger to the Federation. We can take extraordinary action to defend ourselves. That paragraph of the Starfleet charter is called Section 31. And out of it, an entire super secret agent organization was built for Starfleet. And they do all the dirty work that Starfleet can't get their hands because they're like, oh, I got to focus on the Prime Directive and I've got to be all touchy-feely and I'm about science and research and I'm an explorer. I'm not a soldier. I'm not willing to get my hands dirty and kill a couple people to save the Federation. Section 31 doesn't have those qualms. They're like, we do what we got to do to save the Federation.
So they're the CIA.
The CIA. They have the Mossad. They're more probably close to more like the Mossad. They have all the latest tech. They have stuff that's more advanced than Starfleet because they borrow tech from whatever cultures they come across, and they use it to defend the Federation.
Borrow. Yeah.
Star Trek
Special
that
Ops.
sounds interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm not interested in anything that Disney is doing with Star Wars.
What about the Mandalorian movie? Did you like Mandalorian?
I want to see that. Yes, I want to see another season of Mandalorian. But other than that, I'm not like they did ready to get everybody interested all up again with another Star Walker or Skywalker trilogy. I'm not interested in seeing that. Why y'all keep, Luke? Do something different. That's all I'm saying. Do some old Republic stuff.
something different. iManifesto just made this this comment about the movie Equilibrium. Did y'all ever see that movie?
Yep.
Equilibrium starring my man from Batman. What's his name?
James Pattinson.
No, the actor who played
uh,
Batman. Help me out. Why am I'm looking at his face.
Which
Played
Batman?
American Psycho.
Oh, you're talking about
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yes. Christian Bale and what's the name of the black dude? Oh my god. He was in Angela Bassett,
Taye Diggs.
Taye Diggs, thank you. Jesus. Taye Diggs.
Jesus.
Christian Bale. So think Fahrenheit 451 meets The Matrix. That's exactly what Equilibrium is. Okay. Where senses, emotions are considered dangerous in this future post-apocalyptic dystopian future. And so having emotions is outlawed. So they forced everyone in society to take these drugs every day. Men, women, and children all have to take the drugs to suppress their emotions. And by suppressing their emotions, they're also not allowed to experience things that could tap into emotions or make you feel emotional. So
like
art, art, music, pets, anything that could inspire you to have an emotional feeling is outlawed. There's no colors. Everything is black, white, or gray. You know, there's no colors they're not allowed to have colors. And they have these police, and these police, they police out, you know, the subversives that try to live on the fringes of the society and try to still collect books and art and paintings and music and colors. And there's this underground of people that are collecting this stuff, and the police are out there to hunt them down and kill them. And Christian Bale, his wife actually, you know, gets arrested and accosted and taken away for being one of these subversives, and it emotionally shook him. Long story short, he starts down a path where he starts to stop taking his drugs and starts to feel and realizing all the things that's happening. And he's like their top cop. He's their number one cop. And these cops practice this martial art called gun kata. Now, this is right after The Matrix. So it's like doing martial arts, but with guns. I'm not giving it justice, but it's phenomenal to see on the screen.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's really, really good. Really, really good. I just watched it probably 3 weeks ago. Again, Equilibrium. That's a dope movie to see. Highly recommend that.
Cool beans.
Gun clerics. Yes, thank you, Vandolph the Black. So that's what the police are called, gun clerics.
Huh. Well.
We got a challenge. We got a challenge. Nostalgia Series is saying Jay Wilkes, they don't know about that. I think he was saying that about the movie Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates. Good God. Oh, wow. So what's the name of the man who played Spencer for Hire? What's the name of that dude?
Robert Urich.
Robert Urich, thank you. So Robert Urich, and you know, they're playing literal ice pirates. It's a comedy. It's a space comedy. Kind of a Star Wars meets. I don't even know how to compare it to anything. To its credit, it's probably one of the most original movies ever made, to be honest with you. But to give you an idea of the level of humor, one of the main antagonists in this movie is space herpes.
Space what?
Space herpes.
Space herpes.
Can we talk about comics?
This movie was it's like one of those cult classics where the movie was so bad in retrospect it becomes a cult classic and you consider it good. Yeah, it's one of those movies. They
Gotcha.
even borrowed some of the special effects scenes. This movie was so low budget. It was so low budget. They actually stole scenes from a movie called Battle Beyond the Stars, came out, which was basically Kira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai in space. Battle Beyond the Stars, starring the dude from the Waltons. I'm really dating myself. God, I'm boring the hell out of you guys.
There's another clip.
Yes,
There's
I have a lot of
clip for that
useless
one.
knowledge.
There's
Huh?
a clip for that one somewhere.
That's fine.
You have a clip?
There's
You
a
gonna play
clip
the
for
clip?
yeah. I already played it.
No, we ain't get demonetized. Y'all stop.
No, for Paul dating himself. That song.
Oh,
They're gonna play the clip again.
Oh yeah, you did it.
All
once.
right.
Yeah.
Terrell McMiller, thank you for your super chat.
Oh, thank you so much.
Terrell says, beat up the makers of Shazam 1 and 2 and The Flash.
well, I mean, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of DC, check out the Jim Lee foil
What is
there.
that?
Oh, that's a nice. I
Hmm.
didn't see that anywhere. That's nice.
What issue number is that?
No, this is Batman. This is first issue of the Long Halloween, the last Halloween. This is the first book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jim Lee version.
So
Yep.
there was like a red foil that I got. I didn't even take it out of the car yet, but I didn't see that one. I would have grabbed that one.
Yep. It was so funny too because I was just going to get the regular version. The regular version was like $4.99, and then he showed me that, and I was like, "Well, how much is it?" And he was like, "Oh, $6.99." I was like, "I guess I have to get it." By the way, real quick, tomorrow, the 26th, last final cutoff day for those of you who want to pre-order the Tales of Asunder Night OB book. Now, the Blade cover, homage cover.
Can you bring that up, Derek?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
That is the last day to pre-order that is tomorrow. If you don't pre-order it, you're gonna be paying them eBay prices.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm just telling you now to give you. I'm just go ahead and give you a heads up. The Blade homage is not cover price. Oh, I take it back. It is cover price, but it ain't the same cover price that you would think you would normally pay for a copy.
Yesterday's price was not today's price.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you a $20. It's $19.99 plus tax. But
fortunately, we can offer you
go.
guys a discount.
Yes.
Well, not for the pre-orders. Not for the pre-orders.
Yeah, not for the.
I rescind that. Please
Yeah.
pay no attention to that last statement.
So, so what we have on screen here.
Liable.
Yeah.
So what we have on screen here are the pre-orders tonight. So last night, if you want to pre-order any of these books, including that Niobe Blade variant, the white one on the right, on the right-hand side of the page.
So I made a point to pre-order my books on yesterday when I went to the shop.
Did you talk it up in the shop to hopefully to get them to order more? I did it in mine.
Well, here's the thing. There's like maybe a handful of black collectors that go to my shop. So he's going to probably order maybe 4 or 5. He's not going to order a lot. As far as the regular stuff. Now the cover version that now I don't think so because like I said that's $19.
Yeah, not many people are going to order that if it hasn't been pre-ordered.
No, but when people see that they're going to want that, and that's why I said they're going to pay them eBay prices for it.
Yeah, Stranger Comics has the best covers in comics, man. Just hands down. They just
Can I share? Since we're on the topic, can I share a few of mine that just came in from Stranger Comics?
Go ahead. Let's make it happen.
Oh well, actually, we'll get to the point Paul was going to make first. So also, if you want a discount on comics that are available on the Stranger Comics website, you can place your order and use the discount code BCL and get 10% off your purchase at strangercomics.com.
Forever.
Yep. Yes. So go to Stranger Comics, Get your homage variant covers or whatever. That they all dope. You can get the hardcore books. Get 10% off everything. So yeah, I'll make that happen. So yeah.
All right. So we were on with Sebastian from Stranger Comics last week, and I did place some orders at that time. So I was going to share a few that came in just the other day.
Wait, how did you get yours before I get mine?
I know usually your shipping beats mine, right? I don't know.
You live out in the sticks and wherever the government has you stationed, and you somehow got your books before me.
Wow.
Yeah. Here we got another super chat, by the way.
Thanks,
No one's
Terrell.
perfect. Yeah, no one has
Hey,
to
Terrell,
be
thank
that
you,
lazy
brother.
either.
Yeah.
All right.
Make them straight goofies. That's funny.
Thank you. Thank you again. Let's see what
Yep.
All right. So this is one that I got, the Tales of Asunda.
I got that one. It's so
Dead
cool.
President's cover.
Dead President's cover, man.
Yeah. Signed as well.
I ordered all the hip hop
double signed.
variants.
Double
that
signed.
hip hop bundle.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had to do it.
Did yours come in yet, Paul?
No, it didn't, because I don't have the government hookup that you do.
Stabbing.
How many people did you have to threaten to get your mail delivered to you?
None. Got both trade.
Oh, that one's nice.
And
okay, stop. Pause.
Of the Akira
pause.
version.
See, this dude, this freaking dude.
These were
that
free.
That one's
Paul.
not even this. What?
Oh, these were free. Remember a few months back when we had the show with him, and if you ordered that time, you could get this one free. You get this one free as well. And then there's actually a bundle at the time where you can get. I think it was. Yeah, both of these free at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I hate you.
Thanks, Paul.
Guys are hilarious.
And then we got the Niobe She Tribe, and there are only 25 of these that were printed.
I got the orange one, I think.
Oh, by the way,
Wu-Tang
Forever. By the way, the Niobe Blade homage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if Sebastian mentioned this, but this was in the order. My LCS guy gave me a little inside info on that book. There's only 500 of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, y'all heard it here first. Y'all don't have it. You need to order it.
Rich, what was the cover? Was the price on that one $19? That's what it was.
Yeah, $19.99.
Yeah, I didn't know when I ordered it, but I guess I'm not.
It was only 500.
Okay.
Only 500 printed.
Hey, place those orders.
And and the reason why I know that is because my LCS guy, after he saw it, he said, "Well, you want to get this one?" And I was like, I'm gonna pass on it. I'm gonna just get the A cover. And he was like, "Man, you do know it's only 500 of those, right?" He's like, "What?" He showed it to me on the laptop. Like, yeah, only 500.
Wow. Did not know that. Okay.
Sure.
And then one more. So he showed this one last week, but is that San Diego Comic-Con?
Wait, pause, bro. The book hasn't even come out. How did you get that?
This is the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And there's only a few of those.
Yeah, there's a
that's gonna be worth some money.
Exact number.
That's gonna be worth a little.
That's gonna be worth some bread right
that's
there.
That's gonna be worth some money
when the movie comes out.
So, yep.
Yeah. That's all right. You be all right, Paul. You be all right.
Let me go back and update my Kickstarter. Let me update my Kickstarter right now. Just get it right now. I could not get my books. Derek lives out in the middle of wherever they put all the friggin' witness protection agency people.
That's funny. It's getting late, y'all.
Yeah.
We haven't even gone through the comic books yet.
Well, I was just gonna say we need to go out and make that happen because I mean, you know, we got jobs to go to in the morning, y'all be playing.
Well,
I gotta do a little bit of reading after I get off here too. I will share something with y'all while y'all bring that up. I picked this up in a bookstore It's an old book. Well, not old book, but it's an older book. It's called Hot Comb
Oh,
by Ebony Flowers, and it's basically like a little graphic novel, and it's basically about sisters and their hair.
oh, that
And,
looks
yeah,
good.
so
Let me see the cover. Let me see the cover.
Oh,
it's nice.
I like that.
Yeah, so I picked it up. I've seen this book a couple of times, and the last time I was in the bookstore, I saw it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to grab it. So I got that, and then we're going to probably do a show. Me and Amani going to do something in maybe about a month, maybe a month, 2 weeks to a month. We're going to do something on Bungleton Green.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to do a show about Bungleton Green. We're going to kind of get a little. We're going to take a deep dive. So y'all stay tuned for that. Maybe first of late October, 1st of November, we'll have something like that coming to you for sure. My man says he might get that for his niece. Yeah, I mean, so I think that you will enjoy it for sure. Geneva B, the artist. No, it's Ebony Flowers. Ebony Flowers. Yep. But it's just about it's just a book about Black women, and their hair and sisters' hair is considered their glory, and according to the scriptures. But a lot of people have something to say about Black women and their hair, but it's always good to hear from Black women about how they feel about their hair. It opens up with a story of a little girl who wants to get her first relaxer. And so mom is kind of like trying to persuade her to not get the relaxer, that kind of thing. So she kind of, it's like different stories in here or whatever, but it's all about, the Black experience when it comes to sisters and their hair. That's why it's called Hot Comb. I remember as a young kid watching my auntie press my cousin's hair, taking a hot comb off the stove.
Oof, yes.
Before they had no curling irons. No, they had a hot metal comb.
Yeah.
And getting some Ultra Sheen and
a lot of burns, man. A lot of burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some scary stuff to watch.
Yes, it was. I was glad I was a boy. When you had it.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
I think, but the reason why I bring it up is because somebody asked Denzel Washington one time about culture, and why it was important for. This is when him and Viola Davis were doing, what's the show, Fences, when they did the movie Fences, and he was talking about culture, and he brought the analogy about in a Black household, what a hot comb feels like, what a hot comb smells like, you know what I'm saying, that aesthetic, and so it's just one of those things that when I think about my experiences growing up, just watching that, you know what I'm saying, I was like, yeah, that's a little, because I've seen my cousins get burned. They go to school with a big old line on the back of their neck.
Yes.
So many times. Let's check out these books of the week.
Yep.
All right.
Absolute Power #3 dropped today.
Yep.
Is there one that you want us to click on?
Yeah, click on Absolute Power, because that's a dope series.
The Ken Lashley one. How about that one?
Yeah, whichever one. I think that first one might be Edmund Gallman, I think. Let's see what the blurb says. Scroll up, I guess, a little bit. Amanda Waller's journey has brought her to hell and back. Blood-soaked streak to Chicago, to the over-the-top exploits of very own Task Force X, Suicide Squad. Now, with the clock ticking on the ultimate victory over the metahumans of planet Earth, the origin of DC's most methodical menace draws to a close. DC's most methodical menace.
That sounds like a villain to me.
That
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
a villain. I object to this
Villain.
language. It is inflammatory. It is
Villain.
defamatory.
Villain.
But what secrets lie? Oh, you just scrolled. I'm right in the middle of it. What secrets lie within the terrifying alien mind of the Brainiac Queen, and will the wall survive the very seeds she has sown? That lets you know where this is going. This is how this will be Amanda Waller's redemption in absolute power. She'll be at the point where the alien literally wants to wipe out all of Earth, and Amanda Waller has to pull the plug on her own machinations and be viewed as less villainous as everyone's making it out to be.
She's still a villain.
She's not. There's layers.
Call it what you want, Paul. I'm gonna call it what it is.
She does the best that she can. Okay. Yes, onions.
She's a super patriot. She's a super patriot. She loves America.
You know what? Listen. When it comes to Amanda Waller, I get the whole sentiment. I really, really do. But something about her being a patriot and you know that don't sit well with me, given our the troubled history with this country. So excuse me if I just don't just jump on that train.
I think our troubled history in this country is very consistent with Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
as Tupac would say, we America's babies.
You know what?
All right. So the Task Force 7, the last issue focused actually on Nubia and the Amazons. This one apparently has some the only other black character, I'm being facetious when I say that, John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, who some people view as being black because he likes to turn into a black man sometimes. I mean, the reason that this is on the list is because the Global Guardians are kind of on this. And so you got your boy not John Stewart, the African superhero that's on the cover right there in the lower left-hand corner, named after not the hyena. He's called God, I'm having a brain fart right now. Scroll down and see the characters.
That ain't Talon, is it?
What'd you say?
It's not Talon, is it?
Freedom Beast.
Freedom Beast? That's so weird name.
But the other thing, look who got resurrected.
Freedom Beast.
Look who's next to Freedom Beast.
Jet,
my Jamaican superhero. Basically, she has cosmic. Huh?
No, she was dead.
Exactly. She did die. But Amanda Waller sent one of her minions, robotic minions, to Themyscira's Well of Souls and pulled out the metahuman souls. Amongst those souls was Jet. So I haven't read this issue yet, but I'm hoping that it's the resurrection of Jet, who's a dope character and who did not deserve to die.
Yeah, well, you know, that's DC. They'll kill a black person in a minute.
They will. So hopefully we'll bring him back. So let's see what else we got on the list, Derek. Anansi Boys. This story is finally heating up. Every one of these issues seems like it's only 6 pages long. That's my one criticism of this book. It seems way too short. A lot of ads.
That's not that bad.
It's just and I'm not being critical. The story's dope.
4, yeah, 5 pages of ads at the very end.
Yeah, but it's a 22-page book.
Well,
that means you're only getting, 14 pages of content?
Hey, bro, it is what it is. I made my complaints to Dark Horse.
Let's see. Jeff Thorne's in the house. What's up, brother? He used to be Buona Beast and white, so they killed the original and made him black. And then some folks brought back Buona Beast because it was silly to remove Buona Beast over racism. Welcome to DC.
Wow. Well, thanks for that.
Buona Beast.
Buona Beast.
Why do I not want to believe it?
Oh,
But wanna believe it.
on that note, let's move on to the next book.
Oh man.
Avengers Annual. I know nothing about that book.
Wah, wah, wah.
You can skip that one. I don't know anything about that book.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know anything about it either.
You know what? Speaking of letdowns, shout out to all of y'all that went out and bought that Avengers 18. It had no action in it.
It had no action.
Heard it was whack on top of it. So y'all wait for Storm. Y'all wait for the Storm series. It looked like it ain't gonna be too much to her being on the Avengers team. So yeah.
This book, Convert, is a dope book. I have the first issue. I read it. Rich didn't want to buy this book because he thought the dude looked like an Indian dude and was not black, and he thought he was being bamboozled.
Yeah.
He is indeed
black is a state of mind.
Okay. Black is a state of mind. He is indeed a black. He is indeed an African astronaut. It's Robinson Crusoe in space. These creatures you see on the cover.
You just named a white man.
Oh wow!
Now, if his name was Bob or Rob, I might, I can see him being black. But if his name is Robinson,
these aliens you see on the cover showed up at the end of the last issue. So I guess we find out who they are.
Convert. Okay. Why they got con in bold letters?
Because he's black.
Somebody getting tricked.
Because he's black.
And he's African too, right? Y'all see where we going?
The agenda is in your face. They playing with us.
And the white ball is the one that drives the colored balls off of the green earth to show the white supremacy, domination.
I bet you there's a letter in the back.
So they drive the black ball off the world completely.
The world state.
Yes.
I bet you there's a letter from an African prince in the back of it saying he need help.
Wow. All right, let's move on. That was almost disclaimer worthy. Cyberpunk 2077, black protagonist in a future dystopian cyberpunk world. The covers are better than the art that's on the interior.
Whoa.
I will tell you that. Next book. Does have some great covers though. Does have some dope covers. I know nothing about this book except that it's written by.
That's really good.
I went to the shop looking for that. They did not have it. I have not seen that book in the store. So we need to get confirmation that did in fact come out.
It did. I saw it today. They have that one, and then there's a Garbage Pail Kid version. That one,
which is right.
But I did see that. Yeah, I did see that first one today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is demonstrating. I spend all these hours working hard, doing all these pulls on this list, so that y'all know where to pre-order your books. And you don't have to worry about, I went to the LCS store and they didn't have my book.
That's the world's smallest violin.
That's the man who's complaining about he can't find the book because the brother doesn't check out our own website. I painstakingly found the books for you, did the homework for you, so all you got to do is go through the list. I'm done. Listen, I
don't have time. Listen, I do not have time to find.
You don't have time to take advantage of all the labor I spent 3 times as much time on doing for you. I digress. Let's move on.
You know what? If Dr. King was here, he would affirm.
If Dr. King was here, who was a comic book fan, a sci-fi fan, he'd be like, "Good job, brother. Keep hope alive. Keep the struggle going."
Well, that dude is still alive. That's Jesse. That's not Dr. King. That's Jesse.
Jesse Jackson. I mean, they were buddies still.
We're getting our Negroes mixed up here.
The Killing Machine. I don't know anything about that. It had a black cover on it. That's the only reason I pulled that. So I don't know anything about that. Scroll down.
Can I ask you something? That character's name is Kaya.
Yep, I was talking on mute there. Kaya.
I was kind of curious. Isn't kaya a word that is used to refer to a plant, a popular plant that a certain Rastafarian that that everybody holds high esteem sings about? I'm just asking questions. Isn't it true? Isn't it kaya that they call it kaya?
Can we move on to the next book, please?
I'm so for real, Paul. I know you've heard that song. I gotta have kaya.
Kaya is a custard made out of coconut cream and eggs and sugar.
Okay. See, thank you, Angel. Thank you, Angel. See, I was trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to grow. I feel like a white man in diversity training.
Okay, so now we know it's custard.
Another Black astronaut science fiction story for all my fellow sci-fi fans.
It's starting to become a trope.
The Black men in space not being
yeah. The space. We just had a space Negro, the last space Negro.
Oh man, I love that comic.
The last space Negro to this.
So this is the next thing.
Leading the charge is Admiral Pellew, steering his crew through the treacherous Ganymede anomaly with eyes on initiating contact with an alien civilization. He's an explorer. Back on the ocean's shadowy floor, Zella's cult lays siege to the submerged research facility, fervently worshiping the otherworldly relic as they clash in a fierce battle. So there's action. Join a universe brimming with intrigue, ambition, and the unknown. That sounds like a big budget movie.
They could have a Weird Fantasy 18 homage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. I might actually have to go ahead and pick this up.
Oh, you didn't pre-order it? You didn't take your own advice?
Look.
Wow.
I have it on the list.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm getting sleep. It's time to go.
Number 4. Shout out to Kid Cudi.
That was a dope issue too.
I have on my pull list. So
yeah, that's a dope issue. It's getting ready to wrap up, I think, but yeah.
Is it a 5-issue series?
I think it is. I think it's 5 or 6, but yeah.
Okay. All right, let's check out the next one, Derek. We next have
Outsiders, number 11.
Yep, that's getting ready to wrap up. It's only 12 issues. Outsiders is 12 issues.
That's a nice
I'm
cover.
Still disappointed that Jace Fox hasn't put on his new outfit that he established in Harlequin, where he took on this Fox persona in this super suit he made, and no one's seen it since. So now he's just, I said Jace Fox. I didn't mean to say that. Luke Fox.
Luke Fox.
I said his brother Jace. Luke Fox.
Where's my super suit?
Yeah. So that's been a disappointment because I really thought he'd suit up. What's the next one?
Patra.
Patra. Delve into the supernatural for all you horror fans. Is this the one that takes place in the Caribbean?
It looks like
I believe so. I think it takes place in the Caribbean.
You know, the funny thing about it is I don't think the first issue did that good.
Really?
Because I didn't see that in the store at all, as far as it being reordered. I checked out the first issue. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't so amazing that I just said, you know what, let me put that on my pull list, that kind of thing. So I definitely went looking for that when I went to the shop and did not see it.
Well, it has to do with a bunch of serial killers. So
yes,
if y'all are into that, this is your book.
Yes, insane in the membrane type stuff.
Predator versus Black Panther.
Hold on, I got this one.
Power
Fantasy.
Let me tell you something.
Now, shout out to Ernie Blurred Without Fear, because he did a short talking about this that made me just like, you know what, I might have to go and get this. Because he spoke real highly of it.
Yeah, my man Mark is the first one who told me about this book. He said it's absolutely fantastic. I actually just got the first issues, which now I can't find, of course, because I'm on the show.
So is that like the 6th print or something? Because I've got.
No,
I
it's
have
only up
first
to 2 issues so
edition.
far. It's only up to 2
Oh,
issues so
okay.
far.
So this is issue 2?
Yeah, I think that might be issue 2.
I thought that was like a reprint of
Derek,
issue
you gotta
1.
you gotta scroll up a little bit.
Number 1.
Oh,
But it's a
so
third
this is a
printing.
third
It's a
print.
It
third
is a
printing.
1 in
reprint of
10.
number 1, yeah, because
Yeah.
I got the original from
It's
when
a big
it
deal to get a
first.
third printing, especially for image.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it's a
says a
dope
lot.
book. I don't think the original was a very high print book.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got
the
2 different covers from that one.
Third
Yeah.
printing 1 in 10. That's gonna be tough to get too, and it's
Yeah.
foil. Okay.
Okay, Kenneth.
Next.
Now we got Predator versus Black Panther.
Black Panther fans were really disappointed with the series because made my man seem kind of weak.
You know what, y'all? I tell you, you Black Panther.
But James Tomlinson said Black Panther gets a little bit more, love in this issue.
I hope so. Anything to keep you guys from just going off the rails.
Well, this is the MCU Black Panther in this series. It's not the comic book Black Panther.
Yeah.
So do with that as you will. Let's scroll down. Yeah, that cover's cool. The Predator,
I saw that
Predator
cover. It's
Vision
pretty
cover.
cool.
Shout out to our boy Sean Damian Hill, who's the artist on this book.
Nice art. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Here we
really
go.
good.
We had several comments about this one, Ram God.
Yeah, for someone I think someone had asked if we knew anything about Ram God. Yes, we're Black Comic Lords, and I painstakingly go through this list that no one apparently looks at except for myself. But yes, Ram God is on the list.
Anything else you want to say?
Massive Comics.
Massive Comics. I haven't read this yet. I think I've pulled it, but I haven't read it yet.
Massive Comics, the same company that is distributing that Blade, the Blade variant for Stranger Comics.
Ah, okay.
And they're also the company behind I Lie Popeye.
Yep.
Okay.
Popeye.
Mm-hmm.
So they really on the come up right now.
Yeah, they are.
They're leaving a footprint. Pretty big one so far.
Okay.
All right.
Do y'all consider Ultimate BP a key?
Yeah, I said that on my show, the last show that when we reviewed it. I believe so. It's a matter of perspective. The whole Ultimate Black Panther is a whole nother universe. So is it a key in that it redefines vibranium and its place in Wakanda? Sure, if you don't mind the fact that it's happening in an alternate universe. Now, what would be cool is if at some point the main continuity incorporates some of the ideas that Brian Edward Hill. It's almost like, I don't want to say this, but it's almost like his talent is being wasted with these brilliant ideas on a universe that quote unquote doesn't matter because it's not part of the main 616 universe.
Man, it's story.
It matters, and look, it matters to me because I'm a reader and I like to read stories regardless of what universe it is. I'm talking about matters in terms of it being part of the 616 continuity. I would have loved for these same ideas to be in the main continuity because he's expanding Wakandan lore in ways that's never been done.
I think that's all comic book fans, period, Paul, because like the Batman stuff, there's a lot of Batman stuff that I wish, quote unquote, would count. The series that Rodney Barnes is going to do in October, it's a DC Black Label book. All the Black Label stuff is not continuity.
You say all that because you're a DC guy. Marvel fans don't think like that.
Well, I mean,
we're not Elseworlds people.
I get that, but still, it's like, yeah, all of this stuff is cool, and you would. But for me, see, in my opinion, the Marvel people, you guys hold the 616 in such high regard, and I get it, I really do, but I don't put. And maybe because I am a DC guy, that I don't put that much stock in it because I know what DC does. DC does this thing where they'll do something in continuity for I don't know, 2 years, and then they'll do a crisis event, and then they reset everything. You do know that they're getting ready to do the New 52 over again.
I hope so. I like the New 52. I'm one of the 4 people on the planet that actually like the New 52.
Yeah, well, you're finna get your wish because they're getting ready to do the New 52 again.
The New 52 doesn't get enough credit because it brought Marvel fans like myself that never grew up on DC, brought us to DC and said that because it was literally a fresh start on everything, and it made me a fan of DC. So mission accomplished.
Yeah. And so
Star Trek 24.
Is that the 500 one?
No, that's the 500 is a completely separate book. But that came out already. And there's this one cover that has the 5 black actors from Star Trek all on the same cover. It's pretty phenomenal just to look at.
Yeah,
but this is the #1 selling Star Trek series by IDW ever, and it has a black lead. So I just appreciate that. It's a cool story. It's a cool story.
I heard IDW is in trouble though, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
What's that gossip?
Man, you know how it is. Comics are some comics are selling and some are not.
IDW, it makes, they kind of took over where Dynamite, where it was, say, 20 years ago, where Dynamite was basically just taking licensed properties and running with them, like Flash Gordon or Green Hornet and stuff like that. IDW is doing the same thing with G.I. Joe and Star Trek and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a shame if they're struggling. They put out good product. Star Wars Ahsoka, your boy Rodney Barnes in the house.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
I think this particular cover is by who did this cover?
This one here?
Yeah.
That ain't the cover. The one.
This
is
Noto.
Cover.
Yeah, this is Noto. You can tell by the style that's a
Phil
Noto.
Noto.
Yeah, but this one right here.
That one there. That's the one.
The Rod Reyes. Yeah, it's a dope cover.
That's the one there.
Very
That's
nice.
a dope cover.
Nice.
We got to get Rosario Dawson to sign that.
That's also serious. You've upgraded yourself, man. That's all that is, bro.
All right.
I was ready for Philadelphia, but saw I got pushed back. Yeah, Philadelphia 36 made you realize that the true big moment was actually Philadelphia 35.
Jay, before we leave, there is something kind of related to Philadelphia that I'm going to talk about briefly. So stick around. All right.
Slow down.
X-Force.
Uncanny X-Men 3. I only picked this because Storm is on the cover. The story, beyond that wasn't. I haven't read this issue yet, so I can't tell you anything about it. But this is the series. This is the series that has the new mutants in it. One of them's a new black mutant by the name of Ransom, who stood up to Wolverine in the last issue, which is kind of a cool scene. X Factor #1. This is second printing. This has the characters Frenzy and Cecilia Reyes in the same issue, same team. I think in either issue 2 or maybe issue 3, Cecilia Reyes they're going to do a little bit more exploration of her because they've never done a deep dive exploration of the character of Cecilia Reyes, other than the fact that she's a doctor and she makes these shields. You don't know anything else about her. So I think issue 3 kind of centers around her and maybe some more of her background. So that'll be cool to see. X-Force. Is Jeffrey Thorne still in the house?
He probably
let's look here. And there was a comment about X-Force 2. I gotta find it.
X-Force 3. They've left Wakanda, which was in issue 2. I haven't read this issue yet, but from the solicit, they're going and exploring their next, fraction.
Look at Tank with the haymaker on the cover. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Going up against.
Can I be a little contrary with my question? have y'all read Exceptional X-Men 1?
Yeah, I did. I liked it.
You did?
I
Okay.
did.
So are you intrigued to keep reading it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna live vicariously. That means I'm gonna live vicariously through you when it comes to that, because I ain't buying issue number 2.
Really? You didn't
I'm
like
not
it?
an
Yeah,
Emma,
me neither.
I'm not an Emma. No, here's the thing. I'm not an Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde person. Uh,
I get that.
I want Shadow Cat. I like Kitty Pryde when she killing people, and now she's trying to be
That was the
an
best
angel.
version.
She's
The
trying to be a
the late Krakoa part of Shadowcat where the the X-Men got wiped out and she went dark and became the ninja version of herself. That's the best version of Kitty Pryde I've ever seen.
Yep.
And the most
So
logical version of Kitty Pryde
yeah,
I've ever seen.
so this reluctant hero that's in this book, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue reading. And I'm not saying that the first issue was bad. I thought it was okay for what it was. I'm just getting at, well, am I so intrigued with her or Emma Frost that I want to continue reading this? That's why I asked you what were your thoughts about it.
That's a fair assessment. I'm not a fan of the lineup. But I'm a fan of the writing. Eve Ewing's style of writing on this captures, the first issue focused on Bronze, the new little black girl.
Mhm.
And the way that she spoke, her reactions and stuff, they seemed very real to me.
I don't know about that, Paul. I don't know about that.
I
Let me ask you a
enjoyed it.
question.
I enjoyed Eve Ewing's writing on it.
Let me ask Angel. Angel,
Okay.
would you give somebody your ID and tell them to come to my house?
No. What? That is a very strange question.
No, because that's what happens in the book.
And that's why it's
Didn't that happen, Paul?
I don't remember that part. Giving her an ID and telling her to come to the house.
There's a part where she's interacting with the little girl, right? Because they had a concert, and something happens to where they couldn't see the concert. But anyway, there's a part where she's trying to get her to trust her. So she gives her the ID. So here's my ID, to let you know that, you're good. I'm not going to harm you or anything like that. Because at the end of the book, if you remember, she goes to her doorstep and there's a present that she bought for her. Because she didn't know where she lived. You remember that?
Yeah, but how is that? I guess I didn't view it as
Again, my
problematic.
question is, would you give somebody your ID?
I give him a business card.
That part, Paul, not your ID.
Yeah, but she's an X-Men. She can always get another one made easily.
You would
understand.
It
Kitty
doesn't
Pryde,
fit anywhere.
Kitty Pryde at this point is leading an alias lifestyle, right? She doesn't want anybody to know she's Kitty Pryde. The ID she probably gave was probably a fake ID.
Wow. Okay. You know what?
She literally said, "I'm done with the X-Men. I just want to live my life. I don't want anybody to know who I am."
Working at a Starbucks. Okay. All right, Kitty. I see you working.
Well, there's precedent for it. In the past, Kitty Pryde worked at a bar when she decided she didn't want to be an X-Men anymore. She's living the lifestyle of what she.
I get it.
She's done before.
And Jeff says, let Dr. Eve Ewing cook. I'm gonna let her cook. And
it's
I'm
only
going
one issue, bro.
Let her
You
cook.
gotta give it a couple issues.
Let it
Jeff,
marinate
Jeff, I'm going to get scraps from Paul. So I'm gonna let her cook, but I'm gonna eat Paul's scraps. So if he says, man, you need to get this, then I might go ahead and pick it up.
If I don't like the book, I will let you know. I mean, when have I said anything about he who shall not be named? I could still give you chapter and verse why every single issue of that run was trash.
Well, we're not. Can we go one show?
Hey, now you're off topic.
Anyway, let me get back to Jeff's book.
Paul, I want to show you something. I know we're talking about number 3, but I wanted to share this. This is the Virgin cover for number 2.
Ooh.
mean, that's all right, man. Nobody wants to see that. Put that
All
down.
right. Cool.
He said, "Put that down."
You know what?
I'll put it back down then.
That's funny. That is funny. But yo, I'm gonna let her cook. You know what I'm saying? I just got to see where it goes. I just don't want this. See, for me, the reluctant hero trope. I'm not really with that because it's kind of like, okay, I'm special. I got powers, but I don't want to be this person. I want to be normal. There is no normal when you're a mutant, especially when you're Kitty Pryde. Okay? You literally can phase into people's chest and plant bombs.
Bro, that's literally the whole story. Is she realizes there is no. Everything you're just saying is literally what Eve Ewing put in the first issue.
I know, which is why I'm like, I don't really want. I want to see her go off. I don't want.
It's the first issue, bro.
No, she is a glorified teacher in this issue. She's gonna be a sensei. She'll be a mutant sensei for a bunch of teenagers.
All right.
That's what she's doing.
Well, not all of us have the crystal ball to foretell the future.
And then you put the other white girl. Ain't she supposed to be messing around with Tony Stark? Ain't Emma supposed to be married? Ain't she supposed to be on her honeymoon?
There was no papers on that. It's annulled.
You know what? See, it's okay. All right. He says, Rich, Dr. Ewing is in the building. You're gonna miss out. I ain't gonna miss out. I told you I'm gonna eat from Paul's plate. I'm good. I'm gonna live vicariously through his he gonna tell me he gonna tell me if it's good. He gonna tell me it's okay. I'm good. I'm good. But you know what? Here's the funny part. The funny part is I didn't even have to buy issue 1. I got that issue for free. So I'm not tripping. I'm just saying that I would like because to me, my problem with the X situation is that, I need the X-Men to be the X-Men.
You spent 10 minutes talking about Exceptional X-Men, and I'm trying to talk about X-Force number 3.
My bad. I got it right here. I mean, I haven't read it yet, though. I hadn't read it yet.
All right. I will say this about X-Force. I haven't read issue number 3 yet, but what's interesting is that Forge has developed this device which kind of brings together elements of mysticism and science and probability so he can determine what are the fractures in our world, our reality that could destroy the world for all intents and purposes, right? And he puts together, Forge's power is that if there's a problem, he puts things together to fix it. He's not
that's the odd part. He doesn't even know how he does it. That's just his power.
Exactly. He doesn't even know how he does it. And people are like, oh, you're so brilliant. He's like, I'm not brilliant. I just fix things. I build things to fix problems. And for all intents and purposes, he builds X-Force to solve these problems in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But so literally every person he picks must fit some type of role in this machine that he built to fix things. But there's one member of the team he didn't select. She kind of just joined the team ad hoc in Japan. That's Surge. So what does that say about what they're trying to do when Surge was not part of his original plan based on his mutant power? I'm curious to see Jeffrey Thorne explain and explore that. So, Jeff, if you're still here, please explore that. For all I know, it could be in this issue. I don't know.
I mean, look, he says Rich is going to be digging in the bins and back issues if it heats up. I mean, for real, I will, but I'll get them at half price.
Yeah, I was about to say, Rich ain't that. You ain't saying nothing that's going to make Rich afraid because he lives in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes.
They basically give comics away almost for free there.
Pretty much.
He pays like 25 cents for his comics.
Yeah, 25.
That's why he ain't worried about pre-order.
I need that deal.
Yeah, I mean, though, look, for real. Here's the thing about the X-Men.
Didn't you buy your Black Man number 1 for like $3?
Wow, I wouldn't say that. Would not say that. But the thing is, they really want this book to be successful. Talking about the new X, because I think people are skeptical You know, the Krakoan, how long is that going on? Like 4 years?
Yeah, it was gone for a minute.
And so, you know, so this is all, you know, kind of new. Because X-Force is the only X book that I'm buying. I'm not even buying the Wolverine deep cut. I'm not messing with anything but Jeffrey Thorne stuff. And it's not that I don't want to do it, but I think the Krakoan stuff got real long in it too. So I'm kind of skeptical. I want to get on X-Men. I want to get this other stuff, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, Paul.
We'll see. They all just started.
Are they going to suck me in again like they always do?
They're gonna try.
I'm rolling with Jeff. I'm gonna roll with Jeff, and I'll see where the rest of this other stuff goes. And if I have to play catch up, then so be it. But I'm just, you know, like, no, I'm not doing all this. You know, I'm gonna get the Storm stuff for sure. But my intentions is to, like, let me see what Jeff does, because I'm not an X-Force guy really like that. So I'm intrigued just to read Jeff's run.
Jeff,
I'm not
also serious. Ask that you don't mess with Sage.
I got a bad feeling.
Sage is a dope character. She's really underutilized.
Hey, look, let Jeff. If Jeff want to go Game of Thrones on these characters, I ain't mad at him. Everybody can get it. Everybody, even Forge.
Yeah, Jeff likes Sage too. She's a dope character. She's got a lot of potential. All right, let's check out what's coming up next week, Derek. Because that's a segue into one of the things we got to talk about.
Spawn, 20 past rigor.
So not only 20 past rigor. So check this out. Rodney Barnes, through his Zombie Love Studios, has about 2 or 3 titles dropping in the same week. 20 past rigor, Johnny Gatlin, and Werewolf Frankenstein, I think, is one of his too. No.
I don't. Okay, here's Johnny Gatlin.
Johnny Gatlin.
Okay. Yeah.
There was another one I thought. Scroll down.
Werewolf Frankenstein, special edition #1.
Yeah. He's got three books dropping the same week.
Wait a minute. That's his book too?
Yes, sir.
Zombie Love Studios.
Really? Who's the writer on it?
It does not say Rodney Barnes.
Chris Robinson.
But he's doing it for Zombie Love. Okay.
He's doing it for Zombie Love.
Okay.
See, you would have known that if you checked out the pre-orders I do on these lists, but
oh my goodness.
I told you. I don't have time for all that, man.
All right, let's keep going though. So Rodney Barnes, right? He keeps on doing this. Okay, so we got 3 Rodney Barnes books next week. Mm-hmm. What else, Paul?
I Lie Popeye #2.
And remember, this is a Black Comic Lord's key.
Hold on. I Lie Popeye #1 has some variants coming out, like foil variants, what have you, for issue #1. Scroll down, because I don't think issue 2 comes out next week. Scroll down. There you go. Yes, it does.
That's #2. What are you talking about?
That's #2. And then #2, those first 2 at the top, those are reprints of #1 with different covers. But I Lie Popeye #2 drops. If you don't know the significance of this issue, check out our interview with Marcus Williams. Yes, I highly suggest you pick up this issue. It's a history-making book. And I really hope he follows my advice and does a second print with the cover of the character he's introducing in this issue, because that would be phenomenal.
Yep, I got that on pre-order.
But just to fast forward so we can wrap this thing up, the other big thing for next week, also by Rodney Barnes, Star Wars Inquisitors. The other big thing this week is Storm. Storm #1. Now, here's the thing. Here's what you guys have to understand. Tom Brevoort, one of the editors at Marvel, legend, been in Marvel forever, is making a big push to, if you've been following the character Storm over the last 5 years, since House of X, Power of X, You've known that Storm has been getting glow up over in the X offices. And her role in the X-Men universe, her power set has expanded tremendously. The Omega level status of her powers is being explored more. Her status as Regent of Krakoa was huge. Regent of the Sol system, the whole solar system. With all that being said, she's had some titles that were centered around her. Marauders, Sword, X-Men Red. None of those said Sword and it said Storm in the title, but those were Storm books. They have given her ongoing series without having her name in the title. You know,
that
in those
Magneto
series.
one was one of those, right?
Thank you. Resurrection of Magneto. Oh, it was a limited
I
series.
read that. That was good. Yeah.
That was also a Storm series. So she's had, for all intents and purposes, over the last 5 years, she's had 3 ongoing series and 1 limited series in the last 5 years. They've really been giving her glow up over in Marvel. Tom Brevoort said, look, bump all that. She should be an A-list character. Now, remember my criteria for an A-list character. You have to have the comic book, resume. You have to have the comic book bibliography. She's got that. You got to have toys. She's got that. You got to be on TV, cartoons. She's got that. Got to be in the movies. She's got that. Does she have her own lunchbox? Kind of, sort of. She has a lunchbox. She has a lunchbox usually via the X-Men. But she's like right on the cusp of being an A-list superhero. But she has not gotten a push to just push her over the edge into that realm. So I think what's going on is Marvel has been really advertising. We say this all the time on its space. Any character can be made into an A-list character if Marvel decides to do it. They made a talking raccoon an A-list character.
Yes,
they can make anything, anyone an A-list character if they so choose. They're choosing to try to make Storm an A-list character, and they're starting with this book. That's the significance of this book. It's a title book. It's an ongoing series. It's not a limited series, and they're promoting it. They're pushing it. It is her 50th anniversary next year. It's her 50th anniversary next year. So this leads right up into that. Maria Iodelli of Akugan, Brutalizer of God fame is the writer of this book. He's excited about it. You can tell he's excited about it. If you follow him on social media, he posts stuff about this book all the time. He's got a whole bunch of brilliant ideas to expand the character and really she's had 3 or 4 different series, 4 series at least in the past, her own title, limited series. Hardly any, with the exception of Eric Jerome Dickey's title, there hasn't really been a deep exploration as to who she is. This is the series that's going to do that. To that point, a lot of excited people for this series. Maria Iodelli is going to have his own Black Comic Lord show on this channel once a month. The day after each one of these issues drops, Moreira is going to come on the show, his show, and talk about the book with the fans. If you have questions about the book, about Storm, he wants to answer your questions and talk about the book and chat with other Storm fans about the character and about the book. The show is called Stormwatch, and it starts October 3rd because this book drops October 2nd. So check us out here, 9:00 Thursday night, Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk to Maria about Storm. You're going to get all the exclusive stuff right here on this channel before anybody else. Don't tell anybody I told you that.
And then
Check us
tell
out.
everybody.
Okay.
Rich is not impressed or enthused. But that's
No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. I'm looking forward to
R1,
reading
thank you. Yes, it is dope.
I mean, I'm looking forward to
Thank you.
reading it for sure. I'm getting ready to. I'm happy. You know, I mean, I love Storm. I mean, she's cool. She's cool. You know, but you know, like anything, you know, I have to keep the right perspective. I can't get myself too high,
Good Lord.
then I'll be let down. I can't keep myself too low, and I won't be able to come up. So I'm gonna be like right in the middle, and I'm going to allow you and Mr. Iodeli to do y'all thing, and I'll be like, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Thank you for
I
the
know-
enthusiastic support,
I
fellow
didn't know
Black
y'all
Comic
was
Board.
doing a
Appreciate that.
full blown show. Y'all creating shows. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's okay. Y'all just stay tuned on Sunday night. Real Talk with Rich. We'll be right here with you.
Wow. This is
Yeah.
what I deal with, y'all. This is what I deal with.
It's
But I do this for y'all. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. I really hope you all come out and support.
Absolutely. So y'all, can we get out of here, man? It's getting late.
Yeah, I just had one quick thing to share. I promised Jay that I was going to share this earlier in the show. So, I noticed something this week. I don't know why it is, and I guess it's maybe a spec type of thing that I'll share. Let me share my screen. So on eBay, there's hopefully you're familiar with Nita Hall's Nightmare blog. It's basically a series that is in the Philadelphia universe. And issue number 1 has a store incentive that came out, 1 per store. And the way you can, and so for example, you see this cover here, it's got an orange icon, for an orange image icon. That's the cover A. But then there's also another cover that has a black icon on the top left, and that's the incentive cover. And I think there's 1 given out for each comic book store. So what I noticed a few days ago that's interesting, and I can't explain it, you can see the historical sales just on Nita Hall's Nightmare blog number 1. All these different versions out there. There's a lot actually, right? And there's actually one of these 1 per store variants on September 13th. But watch what happened on September 20th. 1 copy of the 1 per store sold for $10.99. A second one sold for $19.99. A third one sold for $20. A fourth one sold for $20. A fifth one sold for $20. A sixth one sold for $19, and so on. A 9.8 sold. All these are the 1 per store variant. And this is a book that you might see 1 sell, 1 or 2 sell every month. And on one day, I think I counted 10 copies sold on September 20th. I don't know
Somebody's
what happened.
cornering the market.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that book, but either 1 person bought a whole lot for some reason, or I haven't heard any news. But I just thought it's interesting to have that many copies to sell all at once, all on the same day. So, and you actually cannot find these on eBay anymore now as a result of that.
Oh wow,
So somebody's actually cornering the market. Yep.
Yeah. So well, but here's the thing about that. It has not been quote unquote option.
Rodney did tell us that that's gonna be the next show that he does. If Philadelphia does well, then he's gonna expand Nita Halls.
Yep.
I do have my 9.9, Paul, but you know.
Is it a 9.9 or a 9.8?
It is I have a 9.9 and 9.8.
Wow, I just walked into that flex. I just walked right into it and softball that D.
You know what
He
I'm
took
saying?
you to the Gunn show.
You just jump right into the frying pan. That's
yeah. So I would love there is something going on, but I don't know what this is. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, you know, I do think that spec is starting to come back again. Why that exactly is, I think that with new projects and that kind of thing coming about, you know what I'm saying, it might be a tribute to some of it, but I don't know. That's a little weird. That's a little weird because that's not exactly the greatest book, in my opinion, in that actual first. No, I'm talking about it that for the number 1 goes. As far as the number 1, the store per variant, that's like okay, it's cool. But I don't get why that, it's one per store. So if you like, there's 1,000 stores, there's 1,000 different copies of that walk floating around somewhere. I don't know.
We'll find out
Clearly
eventually, I'm sure.
yeah, clearly it's rare. So that could be a part of it as well. Or somebody just had some extra bread and they decided that he's going to buy that book, and may influence the market. That's
No clue.
you see
But I just
somebody
wanted to
sell,
share that. I just wanted to
yeah,
share that piece before we drop off here.
yeah. You see
And I do
somebody
think
sell that, and you're like, okay, I can sell mine for $20. So yeah,
there you go. If you put it up, it might go. So anyway, I think it's almost that time.
it is.
Yeah.
We got to go. It's time to go.
Yep.
It is time to go, man. I tell you what, y'all take care. We will see you. I don't know. Are we doing a show this weekend, Derek? Or will you
Yeah,
be?
I'm around.
Okay, I'm not sure. Here's the thing. The reason why I'm going to Houston this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a work trip, and I have a midterm that's due as well. So I'm going to be kind of busy. So there might not be a show.
Okay, got it.
Sunday. And that's the only thing. If you guys want to pop in and do a show, maybe Paul wants to talk about, convert. You know what I'm saying? Put it up on, what the astronaut or African, whoever he is, see what he's doing.
I'll see who wants
All
to
right.
get interviewed or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, be ready for next week. We got a lot going on. We got the Storm Watch coming up. Be ready for that.
That is. I was kind of downplaying. That is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Aurora Monroe and her ex recast the chop. Yeah.
All right. On that note.
On that note,
Paul, you want to close this out?
get me the hell out of here. Black Comic Lords, we got you.
Thanks all.
Peace.